the state representative representing the 14th District, South Windsor. And I've got to tell you, I've been hearing so many concerns from seniors and families that are just making ends meet. And I have to tell you, you definitely need to take a look at the ARPA money and any other funding source, because I think a reduction of any sort is going to be cataclysmic for a lot of these folks. Because if you consider what it cost for a gallon of fuel oil a year ago, it was about $2.83, and currently it's $4.57. And I gleaned that off of the numbers on the line from, I believe it was Deep. And you look at a $100 less equivalent at $4.57 a gallon, that means the individual would have, or the family or the senior would have 22 gallons less in the way of oil. And I'll never forget May of this year. May of this year was one of those wake-up moments that I couldn't believe. I got a load of oil. It was 150 gallons, and the bill was $890. That was unconscionable. I had never, ever seen a bill like that in my life. A couple of days ago, I was doing a call-in session on a local radio station, and I had an individual call and make the statement that people are considering electric heaters because they know that the electricity cannot be turned off until May next year, May 1st. Think about that. Think about the safety issue there and the fact that people are already planning for the dire circumstances that we're failing. I mean, we're looking at here. The need is great, plain and simple. And I think Representative Delnicki was dead on when he made the statement about utilizing ARPA money or utilizing some of the surplus in the funding as a stopgap measure this year. Because if you look at the reduction, literally the ARPA money coming down and the cost of oil going up dramatically, this is going to put such a strain on senior citizens barely making ends meet and on families that are just keeping their head above water. The other issue that comes to mind, and I heard from a number of local family-owned oil businesses, and in South Windsor, we've got 3 of them. They've been in business for quite a few years, and they expressed the concern that they literally lost when the oil prices shot up. They were losing 30 cents a gallon out of their pocket for delivering the oil. And a family-owned business is not like some huge conglomerate that can just take that loss and say, hey, no big deal. A family-owned business, they feel it in their pocketbook right off the bat. And they made a couple of comments pertaining to things that need to occur. The 30-day payments, as in Public Act 18-88, just doesn't work. Not for the small family-owned business. When they have to do an electronic fund transmittal to pay for the oil, conversely, it should be a situation where the agencies can do an electronic fund transfer for them to make them whole. Because you don't want to lose these businesses, these family-run businesses, from being part of the solution here. And that's the risk that we run when we don't treat them well in how they provide the product. You know, the state needs to add a margin over rack that would allow a vendor to choose to give a discount off of retail when it's appropriate. Again, 2 problems here. Seniors and families having a tough time calls for more funding. Family-owned businesses try to work with a system that needs to be fixed to make it support them and support the folks that they're trying to help. And most people in South Windsor buy their oil from a family-owned business. a little guy, not a big conglomerate. And I thank you for the opportunity to make a couple comments here. And again, I hope that the funding is restored, whether it come from ARPA money or whether it comes from a surplus. We need to do something to assuage the fear and concerns of these people that are looking at a cold winter and saying, what are we going to do? Thank you, Madam Chair.